Hey, today I want to talk about buffering. Buffering is something that all of us do from time to time. It's our brain's way of helping us not feel something that feels worse than knowing we are buffering and sort of procrastinating and wasting our time. I'm Annie Kipp. I'm a coach. I work with people who want to feel more confident and create a life that feels easy and do it without having to change who they are. This buffering thing is something that I'm familiar with personally. I know I do it sometimes, and I know a lot of people have been doing this during the COVID lockdown period. Our brains are on overload during this time. There is so much underlying stress that it's natural that your brain would be needing to take a break. Buffering is something that we do when we are trying to avoid feeling something else. I just had a client meeting today and I wanted to share some insights that we came to during this session. She has been noticing that she is reading all the time. She's just constantly reading. And when she's not reading, she's watching TV. And that's a sure sign that she's buffering. And it made me realize she is sort of trying to avoid, in a healthy coping way, something that feels worse than whatever it is, than knowing that she's sort of buffering. She knows she's buffering. We all know when we're buffering. We just don't know exactly why we're buffering and what to do about it. The insight we had was that she is somebody who takes really good care of her mother, who's elderly, even though her mother isn't always pleasant with her. She's somebody who has a dog who requires her care a lot of the time. She's somebody who has sacrificed herself for her family, for her friends. She's put aside the things that she really wanted in her life, and now she finds herself at midlife, not very happy with where she is, and she doesn't know how to get out of it. She says she feels stuck and she doesn't know what the answer is, and so thus she's buffering. The thing that we understood after talking about this a little bit is that there is a thought in her head that is much more painful than anything else that she's experiencing. And that thought for her, and it's different for everybody, is that she's selfish. So anytime she was moving toward doing something for herself, anytime she was putting her needs first, it was running up into that unwanted thought that she is selfish. And it was such a horrific thought to her. It may not be the same for you. It's not the same for me, but we all have our thought that is horrifying to us when we think about if people were to say this about us, we would just die. This for her is the thought that she might be selfish. So that was a really, really hard thought to deal with, because anytime she went toward doing something for herself or putting her needs first, that little thought of you might be selfish come rearing its ugly head at her, and it would push her back into a place where it was just safer to be buffering. Now, we haven't worked through it all the way, but the thing that I'm looking forward to sharing with her is that in spite of whatever unwanted thought we have, in spite of the things that are kind of going on in our head that keep us stuck, we can still create something. And she had a memory of a time when she actually did create something that she wanted, in spite of it maybe seeming selfish to other people. It was just a glimpse, but we're going to work with that and expand it and help her see how she can create in spite of this thought, in spite of having the fear that people will think she's selfish. When you're in creation mode, it's the antidote to this unwanted thought. It's the antidote to buffering, because creation is exciting. It has its own momentum. You are ready to do it. You jump out of bed and want to create the thing that you want to create. Creation has its own energy. So it's really the only way to get over an unwanted thought. You'll never get rid of the unwanted thought, but you will create and live your life and have what you want in spite of it. So that's my message today. If you're buffering, just take heart. Maybe pay attention to what it is that you are avoiding thinking. And don't be hard on yourself. Have some compassion. We all have a thought like this that keeps us stuck if we're not in creation mode. And just as an end note here, I want to acknowledge that this is not my original thought. I have taken the work of Robert Fritz, an author and a thinker, and I've combined it with my coach training, and I've come up with this sort of theory of how things are working in my client's brain. But I always feel like it's really important to acknowledge the people who have come before and the people that we've learned from. So I want to thank Robert Fritz, and I wish you guys a happy day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.